Now we go with the oscillations and waves, in which we see the different cases of SHM, free oscillations, and theory and cases of damped oscillations. Now first we see with the different cases of simple harmonic motion. There are three cases. First case is free oscillations, next is damped oscillations, and the last one is the forced oscillations. Now what are the free oscillations? An oscillations of a body which oscillates for an infinite period of time until resistive or damping forces acts upon it. This is an ideal case. This is a free oscillations. That means in nature any oscillation comes to rest because of resistive forces. And this is an ideal case because we always have some air resistance which tries to hold body to come to rest. So free oscillations are the oscillations which happens for an infinite period of time. And example, all oscillations in nature are subjected to one kind or the other type of a resistive forces. So this free oscillations is an ideal concept. Now for a small displacement and negligible damping, oscillations of mass suspended spring and simple pendulum are assumed to be free oscillations. Now what is the equation of motion for a free oscillations? It is d square x by dt square plus k by m into x equals to 0. This expression we have already derived in the previous sessions. Here we have also shown that natural frequency is the frequency at which the system tends to oscillate freely on its own with no external resistive forces acts on it. So here in nature all the oscillations are coming to rest after certain period of time because of air resistance. So it is an ideal concept, but in general we can say that for a small displacement and negligible damping constant, we can take it as example for free oscillations. Next case is damped oscillations. Damped oscillations are the oscillations whose amplitude goes on decreases due to frictional force, which are due to restoring or the resistive forces of a medium acting on a body. So damped oscillations are the oscillations whose amplitude decreases because of the restoring forces and the resistive forces. Both these forces acts and tries to bring the amplitude of the oscillations to rest. Slowly it comes to rest. The best example of mechanical oscillations of a simple pendulum or the swing left free to oscillate after being pushed once. We always see in when a small child is allowed to sit in the swing and keep on applying force. Baby keeps on, the swing keeps on moving and the baby will be enjoying. The moment you stop oscillations, the baby will cry, making you to apply force so that she want to speak. So this type of oscillations are nothing but the damped oscillation. As long as the force applied is being given, the oscillations will continue. Why it is coming to rest? Because of a restoring force and the resistive forces. So both these restoring and resistive forces will make the amplitude to reduced and finally reaches to 0. So what is the theory of damped oscillations? We are going to see. So vibrations are damped due to resistance in a medium. Due to resistance in the medium, it is given as minus r into dx by dt, where r is a damping constant and dx by dt is nothing but a velocity. So due to resistance, the component is minus r into dx by dt. Now also the restoring force. We know that damping oscillations are affected by restoring as well as resistive forces. So we have seen the resistive forces where minus r into dx by dt is the resistive component, and now it is a restoring is minus kx. So adding 1 and 2, the net resultant forces is nothing but resultant force is equal to minus r into dx by dt minus kx, because it is due to restoring force as well as resistive forces. Now what is the resultant force? As we told you, it is because of the restoring and resistive forces. But we know that Newton's law, second law, F is equal to ma, therefore m is equal to d square x by dt square. So from equations 3 and 4, we can say that m into d square x by dt square is equal to minus r into dx by dt minus kx. That is equation 3 on the right hand side and equation 4 in the left hand side, because F is equal to ma. Total force is equal to sum of the resistive forces and the restoring forces. So rearranging the terms, you are getting the equation as m into d square x by dt square plus r into dx by dt plus kx is equal to 0. This is the equation 5, and this equation 5 is called as equation of motion for the damped vibrations. As I told you, damped vibrations are nothing but where the amplitude goes on decreases due to resistive and the restoring forces. So rearranging the equation 5, dividing throughout by m, you are getting as d square x by dt square plus r by m into dx by dt plus k by m is into x is equal to 0. So this is the equation 6. Now the same equation 6 I have written once again in this slide to understand the flow of equations. Now here let r by m be 2b. Here let r by m be 2b, and we know that omega square is equal to k by m. Substituting these two values in this equation, you are getting as d square x by dt square plus 2b into dx by dt plus omega square into x equals to 0, because we have substituted the values into this equation and we are getting this equation. Now let the solution for equation 7. Let the solution for the equation 7. Let the solution for this equation be x is equal to a into e to the power of alpha t. Differentiating this equation, dx by dt is equal to a into alpha to the power of e to the power of alpha t, and differentiating again d square x by dt square is equal to a into capital A is amplitude, a square into e to the power of alpha t. Now substituting x value of x, dx by dt and d square x by dt square into the equation 7, you are getting this equation. Yeah, this is the equation. What if you put the values of x, dx by dt and d square x by dt square, you are getting this equation. From this equation and also from equation 8, we know that x is equal to a into e to the power of alpha t. Substituting that over here, you will be getting here as x into a square plus x into alpha square plus 2 alpha b plus omega square is equal to 0, which is nothing but a second order quadratic equation. Now we see here second order quadratic equation we are written over here. Now here the same equation we are writing here. Here x is equal to 0 corresponds to trivial solution, as one has to consider the solution. So alpha square plus 2 alpha b plus omega square equal to 0. So the solution for the above equation is given by, we know that this is a second order differential equation. We can take it as alpha is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus omega square. Substituting for alpha in equation 8, you will be getting this is a solution. This is a solution for equation 8, where c and d are constant. Solving for values of c and d, you will be getting the values of c. In the examination point of view, this c and d values need not be obtained. You can end up until here. X is equal to c into e to the power of minus b plus root of b square minus omega square into t plus d into e to the power of minus b minus omega minus of b square minus omega square into t. This is equation 13. If you solve for c and d, these are the values, and substituting here, you will be getting this equation as 14 equation. This is the biggest quadratic equation in simple harmonic motion. Substituting the values of c and d, from the value of c is here, substitute the value of c and you get this equation. So this will be the simple harmonic motion equation. Now we will see the cases of overdamping, critical damping and underdamping cases. What is overdamping? Overdamping is nothing but a deadbeat. Overdamping is nothing but a deadbeat. What is the case of overdamping is when b square is greater than omega square, then what will happen? B square minus omega square is positive, but root of b square minus omega square is less than b. So substituting in this equation 13, we have getting, this is the equation 13. So from here equation 13, coefficient of t on both the terms are negative. This indicates there is an exponential decay of displacement with time. Now oscillations are said to be overdamped or deadbeat when the system attains equilibrium position state quite slowly without making oscillations. It is a condition for b square is greater than omega square. So this case where b square is greater than omega square is called as a overdamping case or a deadbeat case, and these conditions are said to be overdamped, and here we get the equation like this. Next is the case of critical damping. Now in this diagram you can see here, this is overdamping case where the amplitude is going on decreasing. It is coming to 0 in this way. This is the way where overdamping case is. Now we go with the critical damping. Critical damping case is the case where b square is equal to omega square. Substituting this in equation 13, you will be getting x is equal to c into e to the power of minus bt plus d into e to the power of minus bt. So here x decreases without throughout with increase of T. You can see the difference in the over damping case and critical damping case. Here the amplitude comes to 0 very quickly when compared to the over damping. Here, see here, this is over damping. It is taking long time to come down to 0 amplitude, but in the case of critical damping, it is coming quickly. So that is what it says. X decreases throughout with increase of T. As amplitude, X decreases throughout with increase of T. It decreases slowly in the beginning and then rapidly approaches to 0. Body attains an equilibrium position. Now if you see this graph, you will come to know the difference between the over damping and the critical damping. Now oscillations are said to be critical damped when the system attains equilibrium state quite quickly without making oscillations. The condition is B square is equal to omega square. The next is under damping case. Here under damping here is, you can see here, under damping is B square is less than omega square. So the part becomes a negative quantity, it becomes a complex number. So solving equation 14, you will be getting this equation. So here you can see the major part here you have to consider is the way the amplitude is reducing to 0. Here it is an exponential decay. Here as the time increases, e to the power of bt decreases, and so amplitude e to the power of minus e by bt decreases progressively, resulting in the damping of oscillations. You can see how the amplitude keeps on decreases. See here the amplitude is, which is not the case of over damping and critical damping. So this is a special type. Here you are seeing the under damping case where B square is less than omega square, and this is a very important case. The graph is very important. Next we see the quality factor. What is a quality factor? Quality factor describes the amount of damping. Q is defined as number of cycles required for energy to fall off by a factor of e to the power of 2 pi, which is approximated to 535. Is defined as number of cycles required. That is, the quality factor defines number of cycles required to fall off the energy by a factor. You can see, for example, the fan. The moment you switch off the fan, it takes some time to come to rest. So that is called as a damping, amount of damping. Here Q is defined as number of cycles required for energy to fall off by a factor of e to the power of 2 pi. Larger number of cycles Q, larger value of Q means sustenance of oscillations is more, thereby overcoming the resistive force. So larger value of Q means it sustains for a longer time. Oscillations take long time to come to rest. Quality factor is defined by Q is equal to omega by 2 pi. Quality factor describes how much under damped is oscillatory system. That is the amount of time. If you switch off the fan, it will take some time to come to rest. Fan to come to rest. So more the quality factor, more the time to come to rest. This is the meaning of a quality factor. Thank you.